Howdy folks, Brother Jim reporting here. Some great news. Well, we have all known that the impeachment scam is going to turn to nothing, but here's the proof of it. It's finally coming to a collapse legally. Supreme Court cripples second House impeachment charge against President Trump. Harvard lawyer Alan Dershowitz explains. Let's take a listen first.
I don't want to go up against you in court. Either one of you would be very blunt. Great read. Here's what I want to ask you. I didn't call Professor Dershowitz or Ken Starr up there to be ivory tower Trump haters, one of which actually wanted to impeach Trump because he tweeted out the words fake and news. Wanted to impeach him for that. So there was only one fact witness, Professor, that I saw, and his testimony was exculpatory. I want nothing, no quid pro quo.
Look, the most important development happened today. The Supreme Court of the United States absolutely pulled the rug out of Part 2 of the impeachment referral by granting certiorari, by granting review in a case where Trump challenged a congressional subpoena. And the Supreme Court said, we're going to hear this case.
All three cases, by the way, that impact.
Yeah, but one of them was a state case. But think of what that message is. It's Trump was right. You don't have to comply with a subpoena of Congress unless the court tells you you have to comply. Now, we don't know how the court's going to come out, but they made it clear that's a viable issue. So that charge, that ground of impeachment, should be immediately removed by the House and not sent to the Senate. There's nothing to it anymore after the Supreme Court today said you're entitled to review on an issue when the president challenges the subpoena power of Congress. All done. It's over.
Well, I agree. But, you know, Ken Starr.
It's all over. All right. So let's review the two articles of impeachment: abuse of power and obstructing justice. So what he's talking about is the subpoena for Trump to appear before their sham impeachment, and he refused. Right? We remember that in history in the past couple months. So he's telling you that the Supreme Court has already sided with Trump and that they're reviewing this. It's over. It's shut down. That should be eradicated. Impossible. Originally they had 4 that they wanted to bring forward, but they actually came forward with 2. The other 2 are totally. So this one is gone. So the only one that's left is abuse of power. What abuse of power? It's all fabricated again. Well, I keep telling you the same thing, that the left is blaming Trump for what they do. You want to talk about abuse of power? Who's the king of abuse of power? From Washington Times, Obama spied on an opponent and FBI lied repeatedly. Trump is being impeached? We are frogs in boiling water. When President Trump first blew the whistle in a now famous 2017 tweet that misspelled the word tap on the previous administration's spying operation against his presidential campaign at the height of the election, swamp creatures laughed, they ridiculed, they mocked. And the gaslight media backed them up. They whitewashed the whole thing for their friends in the Obama administration and for their friends in the federal administrative state. Today, after enduring 2 years of spinning counter leaks and relentless lies, we know officially what any sensible person knew from the beginning. The FBI spied on an official they believed or pretended to believe was working inside the 2016 Trump presidential campaign on behalf of the Russian government to hijack the election and install a Manchurian candidate who would give America away to Moscow. The FBI never alerted the Trump campaign to this grave inside threat, obviously because the Department of Justice believed that the Trump campaign, including Mr. Trump himself, was in on the giant con. And therein lies the plotted coup. Whatever you think of former President Barack Obama or Mr. Trump or Carter Page or James B. Comey or anybody's foreign policy opinion regarding Russia or NATO or Mexico. Only one thing matters in this situation. At the moment these decisions were being made to spy on the Trump campaign, Mr. Obama was the president, because it started in 2016. His administration was at the controls of one of the most sprawling and sophisticated espionage apparatuses ever assembled on this planet. It is either equal justice under law or police state, so FBI agents operating at the highest levels of DOJ authorities sought secret warrant applications normally reserved for our worst enemies, such as active terrorists plotting to kill as many innocent Americans as possible. That's what they call it, the foreign intelligence forgot the last FISA, Foreign Intelligence something apparatus. Anyway, I forgot what the S stands for. But the point here is it's for foreign intelligence. So FBI agents, they cobbled those secret warrant applications together with bad information supplied by, among other, Mr. Trump's political opponents during the 2016 election. So we know about the spying. It all came out through the IG report, who was appointed by Obama. Next, you want to talk about abuse of power? Obama's abuse of power. It's big, folks. It's very, very long. It never quits. I could go on for hours on Obama's abuse of power. But let me point out some important things about his abuse of power. The worst perversion from National Review. And these are not conservative sites. Yes, there were Obama administration scandals, many in fact. Barry Soetoro administration was full of scandals, though we have a lazy and partisan news media that is determined to see no scandal in it. The lame duck columns have been nearly unanimous on the point. Barack Obama is remarkable among presidents for having been untouched by scandal, personal or political. The personal can be conceded. There is no serious allegation that President Obama suffered from the liberated appetites of a Bill Clinton, and the White House interns have all by all accounts gone unmolested. But this is hardly remarkable. This is the swamp, protecting the swamp in the bought out mainstream media. There were no such allegations about George W. Bush either, or about George H.W. Bush, or about Ronald Reagan, or Jimmy Carter. Why? Because they were all part of the swamp. Richard Nixon's name is byword for scandal, but not scandal of that sort. Nixon's shocking personal perversion was his taste for cottage cheese with ketchup. So 3 cheers for Barack Obama's manful efforts to live up to the standard of Gerald Ford. Well done. The political issue is a different question entirely. Under the Obama administration's watch, the Internal Revenue and other federal agencies from the BATF to the NLRB were illegally used to target and harass the president's political enemies. The IRS targeting scandal was the most high profile of these. He's not talking about Trump here. He's talking about you, my friends. Anyone who was a political enemy of Obama, that would be yours truly. The IRS targeting scandal was the most high profile of these, but others are just as worrisome. Federal investigations and congressional oversight were obstructed. Investigators were lied to outright, a serious crime. The administration protected the wrongdoers and saw to it that they retired with generous federal pensions rather than serving federal sentences for their crimes. The Obama administration oversaw the illegal sale of arms to Mexican traffickers for purposes that to this date have not been adequately explained, and those guns have been used to murder American law enforcement officers. What do they call that? Fast and Furious. President Obama's Secretary of State, Hilda Bies, was involved in a high-profile case in which she improperly set up a private email system to evade ordinary governmental oversight. She and her associates routinely misled investigators, obstructed investigations, and hid or destroyed evidence. These are all serious crimes. The Obama administration made ransom payments to the Iranian government and lied about having done so. Under the Obama administration, the Secret Service has been a one-agency scandal factory, from drunk agents driving their cars into the White House barriers to getting mixed up with hookers in Cartagena. Under the guise of developing green energy projects, the Obama administration shunted money to political connected cronies at Solyndra and elsewhere. Obama's men at the Veterans Administration oversaw a system in which our servicemen lost their lives to bureaucratic incompetence and medical neglect, and then falsified records to cover it up. Under the flimsiest of national security pretexts, the Obama administration used the Department of Justice to spy on Fox News reporter James Rosen. It also spied on the Associated Press. The Obama administration's Attorney General Eric Holder left office while being held in contempt of Congress for inhibiting the investigation of other Obama administration scandals. But no embarrassing stain on a blue dress. Without minimizing the authentic personal degeneracy of Bill Clinton, sexual scandals are minor concerns. They become large public scandals because the numbskulls understand sex and can relate to sexual infidelity. The list goes on and on, folks. There are so many scandals, so much abuse of power. Was the abuse of power making America great again? Is the abuse of power is getting rid of terrorists out of this nation? Is the abuse of power bringing the unemployment down to the lowest rate ever? Yes, it is, according to the left, because they're trying to destroy America, and Trump wants to raise it up and make it great again. And that he has already done. And for it, he is guilty as charged for abuse of making America great again. Both of them are crossed out, and the Dems have nothing whatsoever. And as I've always said, nothing's going to become of this nothing burger. It's only a propaganda machine for those who don't use their brain and listen to real news, who believe the liars. Thank you for listening. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a very important announcement. Would you like to see most of your illnesses go away? Let me introduce you to the Water Smacker. A new modern breakthrough in science has come to knowledge, ridding your body of many toxins through this state-of-the-art new technology. The testimonials are endless. People have been healed of shingles, pancreas survivor healed, colon cancer patient healed. Your skin returns its oil back to itself and elasticity. Gray hair goes away. Look younger. Red blood cells return to being round. Plaque in your arteries is wiped out. Blood pressure is lowered. Feel stronger and have more energy. Return to a more youthful feeling and look. Pick up your Water Smacker today for only $350, and don't forget to mention Brother Jim sent you. The link is down below, along with a website and other videos for a much longer description. Thank you.